So one of the other topics that gets kind of thrown about a lot on LinkedIn and in the sales community, gatekeepers. Should we be turning up to their office and making them brunch? Should we be treating them like a piece of dirt? No, we don't promote that. But how do we handle gatekeepers, and what is the best way when if all you've got is a list of 500 office numbers and you know that you're going to be speaking to Shirley on reception, but you've got to speak to Mr. Daddy Zach Thompson over there who runs his own company? How am I getting through to Zach?
There's gatekeepers and there's gatekeepers. And I think the thing is that you have to understand, again, the sort of context as to who you're speaking to, who you're trying to get through to, and the company and the size that you're calling. The bigger the company that I found through both recent and past experience, the bigger the company, the bigger the switchboards, the busier they are, the quicker that receptionist wants to get you off and get you onto wherever you need to be so they can take the next call or the next 20 calls that they've got already waiting. And quite often they'll just ask you, who is it? And I'll quite often say it's Nick Jeins, which company, XYZ, and they put you through. You've obviously asked for John Smith, so they know where to put you through. And that tends to happen quite frequently in the large corporates. So you could almost say that they're the easiest ones to sort of bypass the receptionist. However, moving on from that call, you might be put through to the PA of the individual that you're trying to speak to the personal assistant. And I wouldn't actually call those gatekeepers, because quite often, if you get them on the side, they can help you. But you have to sort of understand really their involvement with the prospect that you're speaking to. So I tend to sort of just go straight through. John Smith, please. And who is it? It's Nick Jeins. Thank you. And if they don't put you through, what's the nature of the call? They will quiz you quite often. And you have to be upfront, because whether you bypass reception or get through another way and you don't have the direct dial number or the mobile number, that PA takes care of all the appointments typically for those high-ranking individuals that you're using or you're speaking to as a prospect. So if you're honest, open with them, but you don't give them too much, so I suppose a nice little taster of what perhaps you do and why you wanted to speak to John Smith, maybe 5 times out of 10 you will win and you will get through. The other 5, unfortunately, you won't, and you just have to sort of, throw the dice, don't you, with that. If you go to a smaller company, your prospect is a smaller sort of holding, maybe a managing director of maybe sort of 50 to 100 people, the receptionist now becomes receptionist and PA. So they look after everything, and they're instructed to never let you through. They don't have a policy of putting people through unless they know who they are and why they're calling. So the lady who speaks to you on the phone that answers it is going to say, who are you? Why are you calling? What's your name? What's the company? What's the business? All these questions. And so with those people, it's quite easy. Again, maybe 5 out of 10, but the easy way to handle them is who's calling when you've asked for John Smith? It's Nick Jeins, thank you. And which company? XYZ, thank you. And why are you calling? Can you just put me through, please? Thanks. If you answer 2 questions, maybe 3 at the most, they then start to seem maybe a little bit worried about who you might be because of your tonality. You're sort of fairly assertive. You're not forceful, but assertive. So 5 out of 10 times they put you through. The other 5, they keep asking the questions because they're hard ballers. They know what your job is and what you're trying to do. And they might sort of call you out for it, and you might just have to sort of take your chances and run.
Yeah.
And then the sort of, I suppose, the in-betweens, which are the kind of the companies that might sort of have a receptionist stroke PA, or they might have a receptionist that's overwhelmed with. It's really a question of trying to sort of, it's luck of the draw. But if you maybe use your sort of, your bonds a bit and look at the sort of size of the company, even by the name, you know if you're going to get a chance to get through or not.